everyone. In this video, we will cover the current affairs. I am Nuzhat Sana. Pradeep sir is on leave for some days, so I will continue it for some time, okay? For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GK Today Academy app. You can attend the quizzes on this app for better practice, and after that you can also read the detailed explanation of the questions you have missed. For regular updates, please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com, okay? Also, our latest initiative is UPSC Prelims Test Series for 2021 and 2022 in GK Today Academy app. So if you are appearing in UPSC Prelims, you may consider joining this. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started. So good morning everyone. Today we will be discussing most important MCQs for 19th of May 2021. Question number 1. Under which section USA authorizes the President to take tariff-based and non-tariff-based retaliation on a foreign government? First of all, what do you understand by tariff? Actually, it is a type of tax that has to be paid on goods coming into a country. Then what does retaliation of tariff means? It means that a tax which government charges to punish another country for charging tax on its own export, okay? So here basically it is asking which section permits the USA President so that he can take tariff-based and non-tariff based retaliation on any foreign government. So which is this act? Correct answer is option number A, US Trade Act of 1974. In this, section number 301 empowers the President of USA to do so, and he can take all the appropriate actions to remove any unjustified, unreasonable or discriminatory type of legislation of the foreign government, okay? Recently what happened was USA has proposed a strong tariff action against the Indian exporters and especially against basmati rice. Then there are gems as well as jewelry. So this is the reason why this act is in news. So you have to remember this act is passed in 1974 and the section is 301, okay? Question number 2. In order to curtail the price rise in pulses, which of the following steps has been recently initiated by the Government of India? As pulses price is rising day by day, so to cut down it or to decrease it, Government of India has taken which of the following steps? The correct answer is C option, that is permit free import of pulses. So Government of India has allowed that there can be free import of pulses so that the price of pulses does not increase anymore and should remain fixed or maybe lower down. And in this import, most important pulses are tur, which is also called as arhar, then urad and moong. So finally these pulses have been placed in the non-restricted list of imports. Why? Because their prices were on the higher side in the recent past. So one question for you, can you tell me this tur ya fir arhar comes under which crop? Is it a rabi crop or kharif or zaid? Actually, zaid crops are not much difficult. They are easy to remember. The confusion arises between rabi and kharif. So you have to tell tur comes under which type of crop. Question number 3. Which state has proposed to control microfinance by way of a state legislation? So recently, which state has decided to pass a bill in legislation so that they are able to control the microfinance in their state? Correct answer is Assam. First of all, what do you understand by the term microfinance? Actually, it is a provision of basic financial services like loan, then saving account and insurances. For whom? For low income but economical active people. In other words, you can say that microfinance is a provision of small loans for micro entrepreneurs, okay? So recently Assam government has enacted the Assam Microfinance Institutions Regulation of Money Lending Act 2020, through which it proposes to control microfinance and related institutions, okay? So under this act, it has been decided that microfinance institution require separate registration for working in a selected village or city. So now you might be thinking why there is a need to control microfinance, right? See, as we know, there are advantages and disadvantages of everything, and same is for microfinance. First of all, talking about advantage, so it does not require any type of collateral, so it is collateral free. Then second, they provide very quick loans, and third, self-sufficiency and entrepreneurship, okay? Talking about disadvantage, they have extremely harsh repayment method. Actually, there is no protocol for it, and so to take their money back, they can do anything. Second, they do not provide you a big loan amount. They can only give you small loan, and also they charge very high interest rate. So that's why there have to be some authority above microfinance. That's why there is need for efficient microfinance management, which will work towards fulfilling the financial needs of undeserved sections of the society. And at the same time, there should be proper control and regulations over the working of these microfinance companies. Okay, so I hope now you understand why there is a need to control microfinance. That's why in this regard RBI has expressed firm reservations and has stated that implementation of this type of act would lead to dual regulation of microfinance market, and then there would be no exploitation of any sections of the society. So you have to remember Assam is the state which has passed this legislation. Question number 4. Which organizations have stated that long working hours have resulted in 7.45 lakh deaths per year around the globe? So according to the report of which organization, it has been found out that there have been 7.45 lakh deaths per year in the whole world due to the long hectic working hours. Which is that organization? Correct answer is option number B, that is WHO, World Health Organization, and ILO, International Labour Organization. Basically in a joint research publication by both of these organizations in a journal called as Environment International Journal. This research has been published, and also under this 7.45 lakh people, 3.98 lakh people died due to stroke and 3.47 lakh people died due to heart diseases. So these were the reasons, but the most important reason of their death was their hectic schedule and long working hours. Fine. And also this report suggests that work related disease burden is found to be more prominent in men and not in females. What does it mean? Men are more prone to these type of diseases. Okay. So now again one homework for you. You have to tell me in the comments where is the headquarter of WHO and where is the headquarter of ILO. Please do participate and comment down below. Question number 5. Which animal has recently resurfaced in India in Mizoram's Poorring Sanctuary after a gap of 108 years? So after a big time period of 108 years, which of the following animal is again visible in Mizoram's Poorring Sanctuary? Correct answer is Doria's foam nesting tree frog. So a team of zoologists belonging to Mizoram University, they have spotted it in the buffer area of this wildlife sanctuary, that is Poorring Sanctuary, and this discovery was made in June 2020 by these researchers, but now it has been published in a leading journal, Reptiles and Amphibians. Some of the features were also mentioned in this journal, like they have a property of changing skin shade, and then they continue whip up foam so that they can protect their eggs. So these were the two most important features of these type of animals which has been mentioned in this journal. And one more thing, it is believed that this frog has reappeared in India after 108 years. So this question can also be asked that this tree frog is again visible in India after how many years? So answer is 108 years. Question number 6. Which state has targeted to bring 1 million hectares under the DSR, that is direct seeding of rice, due to anticipated shortage of migrant labor? What is DSR, direct seeding of rice? Actually it is a technique, and under this method seeds are directly drilled into the field by a tractor powered machine. It means it helps in reducing the human effort. And which state has started it? Punjab. And why this condition arises? Why Punjab government has to implement DSR? Because as we know, second wave COVID-19 pandemic is hitting the nation right now, and lakhs of laborers have migrated from their place, and that's why there has been a shortage of migrant laborers in the Punjab, and hence this technique has to be used. One question for you again. Can you tell me the recently formed 23rd district of Punjab? This question we have done earlier, so I hope you remember it. Tell me in the comments below. Question number 7. Which financial institution has provided a sum of 1,236 crore rupees to Assam for rural connectivity project? So which institution has given this much amount to Assam state? Why? So that connectivity in the rural areas can increase or enhance. So which organization is that? Correct answer is option number D, that is NABARD. So these funds have been lent by NABARD to the state out of its RIDF, that is Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, during the financial year 2020-21. One question again for you. Can you tell me the present chairman of NABARD and also where does its headquarters situated? Question number 8. Which organization is developing the JUICE spacecraft? See, if you see any type of acronym like this, you have to remember its full form immediately. So what is the full form of JUICE here? The Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer. So here we can understand that it is something related to our planet Jupiter. So this spacecraft is developed by ESA, and the full form of ESA is European Space Agency, and it is developing this spacecraft in collaboration with Airbus Defence and Space. So basically, this is an interplanetary spacecraft which has a mission to study 3 of Jupiter's moons, namely Ganymede first of all, then Callisto, and third is Europa. These 3 are very important, and maybe in exams there can be 4 or 5 options are given and you have to identify which one is not in this project. And this mission is set to be launched in June 2022, and finally it will take 88 months to reach on Jupiter, and ultimately it would land on October 2029. So it's a long time project, but let's see what happens. Question number 9. Cranes have been observed to return to which country after a period of 300 years? So after a very long time period of 300 years, in which country cranes have been seen returning again? Which country is this? It is Ireland. Their wildlife experts have observed that common cranes have returned to Ireland again for shelter and breeding. And this is happening there after 300 years. Since fauna is flourishing there, so it has been believed that our environment is improving, and the breeding location of these cranes is kept confidential and is not made very public, so that the cranes can be protected from unlawful hands. It is important. So this step has been taken so that these cranes do not extinct again. Okay. Question number 10. With reference to biology, CD4 count is related to the diagnosis of which disease? So with which disease it is related to? Correct answer is B option, that is AIDS. So actually CD4 is a glycoprotein which is found on the surface of immune cells, and when this count is lower than 200 cells per millimeter cube, at that time a person will receive diagnosis of AIDS. Okay. And what is the full form of AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And it is caused by which virus? Everyone knows HIV. Full form of HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. 2 question again arises from here. First of all, each year May 18 is celebrated as World AIDS Vaccine Day. Why? To acknowledge the efforts of thousands of scientists and health professionals who are continuously working in this field to find a vaccine against HIV, right? So to dedicate all these people, we celebrate this day. And second is World AIDS Day, which is celebrated on 1st of December every year. So don't get confused. This day was first observed in 1988. And can you tell me, in 2020, what was the theme of this day? Do tell me in the comments, okay? Question number 11. Mongolian Kanjur is an important religious text of which religion? So this text belongs to which religion? It is a very heavy book. Nearly 108 volumes are there of it. Recently, a meeting of Minister of State for Culture and Tourism, who is Prahlad Singh Patel, he concluded a meeting with Mongolian Ministry of Culture in virtual mode, and Ministry of Culture then told that they gonna complete reprinting of 100 sets of this sacred Mongolian Kanjur by next year, and they will distribute this in the main Buddhist centers in Mongolia. Okay, so this book is related to Buddhism religion, and Buddhism is very important if you are preparing for any of the government exams. So if your syllabus contains ancient history, then definitely this topic is very prominent. Let me tell you briefly one thing. There are 4 Buddhist councils which were held, and they are examiners' most favorite. So let's see quickly. You have to remember only AK. First one was held by Ajatasattu. Then second was Kal Asoka. Third was Ashoka. And fourth was Kanishka. Now you have to tell me which of the councils is the one which is held in AD. Actually, all the Buddhist councils held in BC, only one is there which was held in AD. So you have to identify which one is that. You can tell me in the comment section, okay? So that is how you can connect your static with your current. Question number 12. India's first agriculture export facilitation center has been set up in which city? So this center has been established in which city? Correct answer is B option, that is Pune. So it has been launched in partnership of MCCI with NABARD. What is the full form of MCCIA? The Maharatta Chamber of Commerce, Industry and Agriculture. Why there is a need to establish it? So actually it aims to boost agricultural exports, as the name suggests itself, from the regions and adhere to global standards. It will also serve as the capacity building platform for agricultural food exports. And most important feature of this center is that anyone who is in the agriculture sector who wants to export their product to the other nations overseas, so he can do so very easily. Okay, so very important feature was this one. So under this, everyone gets the freedom to send its exports to any country. Question number 13. Which Indian American has been appointed as the White House Senior Advisor? Very important question. See, whenever any Indian origin personality does something in foreign country, which makes India feel proud. So that will definitely be asked in your exams. Here one Indian American has been appointed as White House Senior Advisor for President of USA. So that's why this question is very important. And who is she? Option number B, that is Neera Tanden. So recently US administration has declared her to be Senior Advisor to President Joe Biden, and she has also served as President and CEO of CAP, and she is the lady who has actually served in both Obama as well as Clinton administration as well as presidential campaigns. Okay, so very important personality, Neera Tanden. This question can definitely be asked in your exam. Question number 14, UN Global Road Safety Week is a biennial global road safety campaign hosted in which month? So this campaign is celebrated in which month? We are talking about current affairs, so you can guess the answer. Yes, it is correct. Right option is May. Who organized this? WHO, World Health Organization. And this year it has been celebrated between 17th May to 23 May. Okay. As I have told you many a times that you have to remember all the important days with its theme also. So what was the theme of this day? Street for Life, #Love30. This was the theme for this year. Okay. And this year it actually calls for 30 km/h default speed limits to be imposed wherever people live, walk and play in all parts of the world. Okay, so there has to be a balanced speed of 30 km/h and not more than that. Fine, you have to tell me in the comments where does headquarters of WHO lie. Okay, coming to last question, which state has launched the wellness program Ayush Ghar Dwar for COVID-19 patients? So which state's program is this? Correct answer is Himachal Pradesh. I hope you guys know what is the full form of Ayush. It means Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. What is the aim of this program? To provide a holistic health care through Ayush. Okay, and this program is expected to reach around 30,000 COVID-19 patients who are currently on home isolation and hospitalized in institutions. Okay, so actually this is an initiative to keep the home isolated COVID-19 patients who are self-isolated in their homes. They can become healthy by practicing yoga. And Yoga Bharati's instructors would provide their services in the program on social media platforms like Zoom, WhatsApp and Google Meet. So nothing very relevant, only you have to remember that this program is from Himachal Pradesh and what is its objective? So its objective is to make healthy. So its objective is to provide a holistic healthcare to COVID-19 patients. Now last question I have for you is, you have to tell me Mission Hausla is the initiative of which state. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. One more thing I would like to ask you, the questions I asked during the whole video, I think enough answers are given in the comments and hence people can go there and check out if their answers are right or not. But still, if you want me to pin right answer in the comments or you want me to mention the correct answers in the next video, so you can tell me. Your suggestions and improvements are heartily welcomed. So these are the important news and the events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important news. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Please give a thumbs up if you find the content useful and don't forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.